This just came in the mail yesterday. The Microbe short course. I've got a couple of the Hobby Plus Speck-Bs, which is pretty much the same thing as the Microbe. The packaging is even pretty much the same. Same remote, same little, I think, Fly Sky remote, pretty much. This guy, same thing that comes with like FMS cars, I think. I don't know why everybody's so hyped about peeling this stuff off. Okay, so it does look very similar to a Speck-B. Same parts, it's just got this longer rear bumper here. And just clips on the body clips on the back. So, and that's one thing kind of nice about the Microbe, the regular Microbe buggy, is the Velcro. I think the difference between Speck-B and the Microbe was slightly narrower chassis. But other than that, the same. This has got the truck tires on the front and rear. And before we even take this for a test drive, I am going to roll out my carpet track, see how long it takes to set up. This will only be my second time fully setting it up. Okay, so I'm still figuring out the perfect layout, and obviously it will be customizable. You can see I've been using these pool noodles that I cut in half. The thicker ones are like $3 or $4. These thinner ones were like $1 a piece. And then you cut them in half and put some Velcro around them. The hard side of the Velcro sticks right to the carpet and like sticks pretty well. You know, crashing a small car into this doesn't just like pull it up. It stays down pretty good. Cars can go over it if they go straight at it, but they will bounce off if you just kind of sideswipe it. I still need to cut this one in half up here. Figuring out the position of the jumps. I think I can make something out of wood, or even just line these with some extra carpet and really tape them up solid so they're lightweight. The Speck-B and the Microbe. Actually, the truck is quite a bit longer than the Speck-B. A little bit. I was expecting it to be the same chassis, or at least same length, but you can tell it is quite a bit longer back here. And the tires are a bit bigger. So I'm curious to see how the longer wheelbase affects the turning radius. These tires do seem pretty grippy though, so hopefully that makes up for it. Just gonna pop it open here pretty quick. Okay, so this body clip seems pretty durable. You can see there's a little bit of extra room right here, but other than that, it looks exactly the same on the inside. Looks like we also got some longer shock towers, taller shock towers, and longer shocks. Maybe just slightly more, yeah, a little bit more clearance. I don't know if you can really see it here, but it's just got a little bit more travel there. All right, so let's run this thing around the track. And of course, I couldn't resist stickering this thing up before I even got it out on the course. I am not sponsored by A-Main, but hey, if you guys want to send me stuff, hit me up. But yeah, the rest of these stickers are available on the California Worldwide website. Link below. Support the channel. Also, I don't know if the video is doing it justice, but this does have a nice kind of metallic green paint job. I know the pictures don't do it justice. Hopefully you can see it on camera. Oh. Okay, so this thing handles pretty well. I feel like it is a little squirrelier than the Speck-B. I mean, look at that wheelie. The stock motor in the Speck-B did not wheelie like that on the carpet, but with the upgraded motor, I think it was the Eco Power motor, I got some wheelies. So this will definitely traction roll a lot easier. Alright, now we're running the Speck-B with the upgraded Eco Power motor. We're also using some AliExpress tires. They're pretty good, pretty similar to the stock tires. Still getting traction roll, but a little bit easier to control. Not much, but I'm out of practice. Let's do the slalom. Yeah, this thing does have a bit of a tighter turning radius for sure. But pretty comparable. Oh. Oh, okay. Let me watch my speed. Okay, now we got a Speck-B with the stock motor and stock tires. So, the stock Speck-B motor is a 63 turn. The upgraded Eco Power motor is a 45 turn. And then the stock motor in the short course truck, Microbe, is a 37 turn. So that explains that extra power. So, when I'm driving it around more, I should definitely adjust the throttle settings. Maybe it won't be quite so squirrely, but yeah, that explains that extra speed. And that motor is quite a bit larger than the Speck-B motors. So I don't even know if you'd be able to get that to fit underneath one of these bodies. If you tried to put that in a Speck-B or a Microbe, regular Microbe, you'd probably have to cut your body a little bit. And even though these body clips are pretty easy to get off, one thing that's kind of nice is you can pretty easily just reach up under the body to power it on. These things take a while to connect though. Look at that. There we go. And I don't really like to drive the Speck-B in the dirt very much because it's so low to the ground. Let's see if these bigger tires and slightly more clearance make this thing fun to drive in the dirt. It's squirrely. Two-wheel drive. It's a little hard to drive in the sand, but it definitely has better clearance. You'd have some fun with it, but you wouldn't want to race like this. Maybe if there was a gyro in here. It's really hard to control. Come back. Come back. You're also going to get a ton of sand and rocks up under the body since it's so open. So, yeah, probably better for carpet and concrete. Speaking of concrete, one-handed driving here. The remote that it comes with is a little small for one-handed driving, I gotta say. But, oh, it does decent on concrete for a two-wheel drive car. Woo! You drift a little bit, but these tires grip decently. Oops. So you don't need a lot of space to have fun with this thing. It's just a like 10 by 10 square. All right, so I got up early this morning to practice a little bit, getting a little bit more consistent, but still a bit of traction roll. I'm going to move the shocks from the inner hole to the outer hole, just like a couple millimeters, and then at the top of the tower, shock tower, move them in a hole, so get a little bit more shock angle and lower the stance, and I will do the same thing on the rear. Hopefully that'll help. Good morning. It is now Thursday. So last Friday morning, I just finished adjusting all the shock positions on this and test drove the car around off camera for a little while, and it was feeling a little bit better. I was planning on driving a little bit more, and then our friends got us into Stagecoach, so we left a little early, and we stayed Saturday. We stayed till Sunday. And Saturday night, there was 60-mile-an-hour winds. The festival was closed down. It was crazy. It was pandemonium.
We are evacuating the festival site due to severe weather. Please seek shelter outside of the venue.
They opened it back up later in the night. But this is what I came back to. So I didn't tape it down. I had some wood. But so I don't know what the wind speeds were here. That was about 30 miles away. It had to be pretty windy here too. But so I got to rebuild this before I can show you how this handles with the adjustments. But you can see that I did lower the roll center and center of gravity a little bit. Okay, so now we got some Gorilla Super Glue gel I rubbed on here with a Q-tip last night, let it dry on both the front tires. That's supposed to prevent some like over grip as the tire leans. So let's see if the guys on the internet know what they're talking about, huh? So still traction rolling a good amount more than the Speck-B. So I'm going to experiment by kind of doing a RC crawler trick and use some tiny little rubber bands to maximize droop and just experiment to see if that will prevent rollovers so often. All right, look at that. We almost got like a Huna truck thing going on now. So we don't really have much suspension travel at all anymore. If I wanted to make it low like this permanently, I think I would need to get some shorter shocks. But let's give this a shot, huh? Well, still rolls a bit, not as bad. That bounce though, I was not expecting that bounce to be so bad. See the rubber bands in there. This handles a lot more like a Speck-B now. Still rolls, but not nearly as easy. Okay, so now I'm going to take these rubber bands off and try some slick tires. Well, it looks pretty stupid, but this is just for science. All right, let's see. At full throttle, no traction rolling, not a lot of grip. But damn, it doesn't traction roll at all. Okay. All right. Then we got the grippier stock Microbe tires on the back. Ooh. Okay, now we got all 4 stock Speck-B tires. Let's see how this does. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay, I had a good feeling about this, but yeah. Oh, there, finally traction rolled. Dude, that was on almost full throttle the whole time. So if I had to guess, the tire size might have a little bit to do with it, but I really think it might mostly be that these tires just aren't so grippy along that outer edge because of the pattern there, instead of these pin tires that come stock are really grippy right up on the edge. Full throttle. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. And honestly, if you guys have any tires you would recommend for this thing, please leave a link in the comments. I would like to try them out. So when this was just released, they released a brushless version, and they also released an upgraded brushless version of the Speck-B. And I almost got a brushless version, but I'm glad I didn't because this thing is so crazy and pretty difficult to drive. But I do think it would be pretty fun to drive one of these brushless. It's just easier to drive out of the box, handles better, and I think it could handle the brushless speed, and it would be a nice upgrade. I think it would really rip around a carpet track really well. And another cool thing with the Speck-B is that for $85, you can upgrade your motor for 10 $12 and get some tires for 12 $15 and still be cheaper than the short course truck. And I was able to fit 3 of these vehicles in one medium-sized Harbor Freight case that I got on sale, and I even made a little custom sticker for it with Grok and printed it out to match this car. So honestly, that was pretty interesting. I say if you're gonna be just getting into carpet racing, Speck-B is the way to go. Less tinkering to do, and it just handles really well out of the box, and it's fun to drive. And you can get one for $85. $25 more. These are going for $110 right now. It's got the bigger motor, the bigger tires, but a little bit harder to drive. I'm going to be messing around with different tires, try to find what works best. So far, these are working best for me on the carpet here. Honestly, I don't see this thing working in the dirt off-roading. If I was gonna want a short course truck to go off-roading, I would go bigger, like probably at least 14th scale. Something that can go over some small rocks, and also four-wheel drive. Like this thing's really hard to steer in the even really well packed sand here. So and it doesn't work great on concrete either. So I don't really know exactly what this thing is made for, but it is cool and it is fun and it is pretty nice to drive on the carpet with these tires. So I don't know, but definitely check out the Speck-B, and they have great customer service. I had a motor blowout right away, and they sent me a replacement as well as some other little upgrade parts, some different gears, as well as a little an upgraded ball pin for the steering steering servo thing. So yeah, great customer service. I couldn't recommend a Speck-B enough, but these are pretty cool too. All right, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. You know the routine. Peace.